Roles are the actual instrument positions or crew jobs in your company that you hire and pay various members to do. It's important that you set these up properly since Back on Stage uses these roles to categorize all your musicians and crew members so it knows who to book for each gig. For example, roles in a typical rock band might include drums, bass, guitar, keyboard, and vocals. Or for a typical string ensemble, you might have violin 1, violin 2, viola, cello, and bass. But roles aren't just instruments. Basically, any job you want to pay someone for should be set up as a role. So for example, if you want to pay yourself as a band leader, set up a band leader role. If you want to pay a sound tech, set up a sound tech role. Even jobs like roadies, drivers, and crew should be set up as roles. Now let's take a look at how role names are used throughout Back on Stage. Booking your team for gigs is one of the most common things you'll do inside Back on Stage, and it all begins with you building your various service templates. You can think of services as your various band or ensemble configurations. So for example, if you run an event band, you might have a 9-piece version of your band and maybe a scaled down 5-piece version. These would each be set up as separate services inside Back on Stage so that you can configure your specific list of roles or instruments for each of them. So here's an example of a 9-piece band that I've set up, and you can see here I've listed all the roles I need for this band, including my rhythm section players right down to my horn section and vocalists. Now, when I attach this service to a gig, Back on Stage is going to know that I need to book people for all those roles. So when I open up the Book Roles page, like you see here, right away Back on Stage is able to list out all the members I have in my company next to all the roles they perform, so that I can easily build up a call list of all the players I want to contact and offer this gig to. Now it's important to note that our booking system only lets you book one person for each role or instrument. So if, for example, you need 2 trumpet players on the same gig, you're going to want to set up numbered roles like trumpet 1, trumpet 2, etc., so that you can book multiple people for the same instrument on the same gig. Now, role names are used in a few other places too, so for example down here we can see a sample of what the gig offer email from Back on Stage to all of my musicians is going to look like, and you can see the role noted right here. And now if we go look at this booking, we're going to come down here to the list of band members we've booked for this gig, and you can see all the role names here as well, so we know who is doing what. And lastly, I'll just show you really quickly what a musician invoice looks like. So when a gig is done and you send or log a payout to your musicians, Back on Stage automatically generates an invoice for that transaction. So here's an example of what that looks like, and you can see here the role name noted here in the description field. So we'll always remember exactly what this payment was for, and this will keep all the tax agents and your accountant very happy. Okay, so that's all for this video. Hopefully this gives you a better understanding of why roles are important and what they're used for inside Back on Stage. And as always, if you have any questions, just hit the chat icon in the bottom right.